my question to you is, I know we're talking about a lot about LRC, and I know you said that, you know, it's going to take some more time than just a few months of just jumping right into the game of football, especially the NFL level. But do you think LRC will make the team this year?
My heart says yes. We'll start there, right? My heart says yes, right? He is, you got to feel for a guy who's backing himself, a young guy, 22, 23 years old, at the top of his craft, taking a risk and really putting himself out there. And, is, I can't say performing at the top, but he's hanging in there with the best in the world. So at the rest of their craft, right? So like from a pride standpoint, from somebody who loves the sport of rugby, man, I hope so. It'd be such a success story. Now from like a logical side, he obviously has some holes in his game for football, but that's not the whole package, right? Football is a business, NFL is a business, and he brings some other stuff to the table, right? In terms of the business side that the Chiefs you know might want to take from a entertainment value of new schemes that you could put out there with him that are going to be pretty specific to his skill set. So harking back to earlier in the episode when he said, your nephew commented on the play where he was slow to it. I did my homework. I watched that episode. I made sure I was ready for it. So he's slow to the hole, but there's also someone coming across and blocking that defensive end late, right, to open up that seam for him. The other way that you could do it, a fun scheme that would be viable probably all the time, but instead of that blocker coming through, letting LRZ take that hit, but I guarantee that pitch, that secondary pitch is going to happen. No problem, because that's muscle memory for him if you draw that up. Or something like, Travis Kelce, love it or hate it, likes to do the hook and ladder, whether it's called or not. Right? Sometimes he goes rogue and does it. So put LRZ on the outside, put Travis Kelce in the middle of the field, catches it, pitches to LRZ instead of him just turning up field, have a receiver streaking down the other side. I guarantee that he can put a spiral lateral on the money at pace 20 yards away. I guarantee it.
Wow.
I guarantee it. I know this because, there are high school level rugby players who play football who can do that. Like, no issue.
Right? 20 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Gee.
He is, he's the guy, especially when you're running across the field and you have that momentum with you.
Yeah.
It's going to go. It's going to go. The best in the world. So his will float a little bit, but it'll be on the money. The best rugby passers in the world will do that on a laser, right? Just on a string. So it's just one of those things where, Andy Reid, creative coach, we've seen it with a lot of his other plays. If he wants LRZ on the team, he's going to be on the team, but there's going to be a couple specific things for him to do that are going to be effective once in a while, be really entertaining to watch. Will definitely make ESPN top 10 or maybe not top 10, but it's going to be stuff that's it's going to be eyes on the brand, which makes money, right?
Yeah, of course.
On top of everything else, right? There's in just Wales, not even Britain and England, but in Wales, there's 3.3 million people, and like half of them, like 1.5 million of those of that population are adult men who are more likely to buy NFL jerseys. So that's that's a lot of money that could just happen, right? Like branding, all that happens. So my heart says, from like an athlete perspective, I hope he makes it. I think probably some of the non-football things, or the non-football things that can translate into the business of football and on the field, might put him over the hump. And then on top of that, by all accounts, he's liked in the locker room. I said it 100 times already, but he's professional. He knows how to conduct himself. He's not trying to ruffle feathers. He's there to win on a professional level, and he's willing to do what it takes for that. And so, I'm going to say, like, if Kelce and Mahomes are like, yeah, we want this guy in the locker room, they're like, he's got a pretty good shot at it. Those guys hold some weight within the organization. If Andy Reid says he wants him, he gets it. Or if they just do look at the numbers and be like, oh, there's a potential of whatever. NFL jersey is what, $60 to $100 depending on the person, times, let's say, I don't know, 500,000, a third of the adult male population in Wales. Like, all of that might play into him making the squad 53. Now he has to perform to keep the spot, but like initially, why not sell several 100,000 jerseys?
Yeah. Now, hey, listen. Look, I understand the NFL is a business, and I made this point, in the episode before, like as you saw, the Chiefs are about winning. Okay, they're going to sell a lot of jerseys anyway. But having this guy like LRZ to accentuate what you do would be masterful. And like you said, Andy's the most creative coach out here. You have a couple of packages where you bring in LRZ. And even if you use him as a decoy, right? Because they're like, hey, here he comes, here's a rugby guy. They're going to do the pitch or something, right? And you do something else. Or, you do the quick snap with him playing, like a quarterback sneak. Or you do the scrum, which is the most, the scrum that Philadelphia does is the most successful play that's been in the past 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's fun stuff like a rollout punt. Like,
yes,
you haven't seen that. He can kick, he can kick about, it's not going to have the amplitude as a specialist punter, but, he can put it in the air about 60 yards on the run, right? So you have him roll out. You have him roll out, give him the option to, well, if they fall off you, take the 10 yards, go because you're big and fast. If they go, okay, well, you've been kicking in traffic, someone in your face since you were a little kid, right? It's just one of those things where you maximize the skill set that you have. So if the Chiefs want them, I'm sure they will maximize the skill set.
Man, there's so many possibilities. At first, because obviously we're trying to put him at running back. It's like where is he at running back skill? Is he going to really make it? But when I start seeing a little bit more special teams wise, it makes a lot more sense of seeing the pathway, if you will, the pathway of him actually making the 53-man roster. Because you do have a guy who can come down and make tackles. You have a guy that understands open fields, how to catch pitches. You could do a lot of different things as far as just if you wanted to creatively do some things. Throwing the ball 20 yards on that man, that would be exceptional. He's able to do something like that. I guarantee they're creating all these different things and the possibilities of it. But I do believe now, just watching him, just in special teams, I think he has a really good shot at making a 53. I really do.
With the new kickoff rules, Mike Brennan asked, right? I'm looking at you guys' chat too.
Yeah.
Kickoff rules. You have to announce correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to announce your intent to do an onside kick. Right?
Absolutely, yes.
So then that was a possibility. I'm pretty sure it's still legal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can kick it off the block for a kickoff and try to bounce it, right?
Correct.
But I'm pretty sure you can still do a drop kick on a kickoff. Is that correct?
I don't know. That's I had to look over and see.
So the reason why let's assume that it is, right?
Okay, yeah.
He can do it, or you have someone else do it. If you look at a rugby kickoff, right? All kickoffs are a drop kick. So that means a lot of them, any kicker for a top team in college can do this, right? LRZ, top of his game, can definitely do it. But you drop it, you hang it up high, it's going to go exactly 12 yards if you want it to. It can go exactly 20 yards, it can go exactly 15 yards, and it'll be outside the hash where it's going to be two guys that can, 2 or 3 guys that can get to it from there. So you either have a rugby player come in and kick that in a last second scenario, or LRZ's actual skill set is being able to get up for the ball, right? So there are plays in rugby where you literally kick pass it to the end zone for a try. You can find him doing this where the ball comes out across, spins across, the guy first receiver catches the ball, kicks it cross field high, and he's going up and getting it at the highest point, full extension, going up and getting it for the score, or on a short kickoff, getting up, batting it back so his team can grab it. Those are all rugby concepts that I think, in the new kickoff rules could be translated very, very well. Whether it's off the block, you just have to get it to bounce high. So if you can get it high and 12 yards, look at some rugby guys, to get ideas in terms of how to contest onside kicks and win it back, because everybody's way closer. Now, if you can win that, if you can win it, then you're like at the 35-yard line.
So I'm Kathy said it before I did. Is I'm skeptical of the ball being different may make the difference, and so because the rugby ball, like it's a little bit more bigger, it has a little bit more inflation. Like Marcus bring that thing up, has a little bit more balance.
The sweet spot is definitely bigger on a rugby ball than it is a football.
Right.
It's just the mechanics of it. But we're talking professionals, right? We're not talking Joe Schmo doing the drop kick. And from experience, there's not, when you're playing on turf or perfect grass that NFL fields provide, the bounce is consistent every single time, and so you can train for it, right? Rugby a lot of times is played on a wet muddy ground at the amateur levels, and you're still getting guys who are hanging it up 30 yards in the air, and it comes down 12 yards down. And that's function of the rugby ball. But you tell somebody hey, you have to be able to perform this to a professional athlete, or you're axed. I'll bet good money that guy's he's gonna figure out how to do it.
Yeah, very, very intriguing. Very intriguing.
For clarity, yes, a drop kick is legal in the NFL and can be used for field goal conversions and kickoffs. So
okay.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.